feeling high.
Hi there, my name's Rich, and I'm going to be talking to you today about 3 books that are written by an author that I've got a lot of respect for, and that man is Geoff Thompson, and he's a Coventry lad, and he used to work on the doors in Coventry in the 1980s, which is what this book is all about. Watch my back. This was kind of the first book he wrote, and it originally was in 3 different volumes, and this is talking really about sort of like, this is them condensed into the one volume. It reads in at 587 pages. Now, to look at the cover, you think that's, you know, it's hard man, you know, he's got the knuckle duster, etc. One of the loveliest blokes you can meet, and this book is actually very anti-violent. I will, you know, really stress that. It's really talking about Geoff's struggle to first of all confront his fears of conflict, which is what led him to work on the doors in the 1980s in Coventry, very violent place at the time. And it also deals later on in the book with his struggles to move away from that violent world that was kind of having a negative impact on his life. This man is an extremely positive man, and you know, he's had a great influence on my life. When I've been through dark times, his literature has really helped me along, and you know, he alone is probably responsible for me leaving at least 3 jobs, you know, to go on to things that I want to do, and that's what this book is all about. When he was hating working on the doors, he really wanted to become a writer, and he was working on the factory floor, and you know, working in factories, and he just thought, this isn't for me, this isn't for me, I want to be a writer. Of course, all his colleagues would say, people like us don't become writers, but he rightfully said, we can be whatever we want to be. And so he wrote a book, and it's absolutely, it's full of, you know, some very humorous stories in there, some quite horrific stories, you know, very eye-opening. And he, as I said earlier on, he in the beginning part, he talks about confronting his fears, and when he was being bullied, and he would run, and you know, he just had a lot of fears built up there. And I just can't recommend this book highly enough. It reads in at 500 odd pages, 587 pages. You will whiz through it so quickly. I'm glad to say he's also doing a follow-up book that's coming out later in the year, but go out and buy this book. You know, as I say, it's very anti-violent, so don't be fooled by the cover. You know, and he really will inspire you to show that you can do whatever you want to do. Now, I talked about how he's very positive and confronting his fears. So these 2 books here, these are the hardback versions. So Fear, the Friend of Exceptional People, and it is what it says on there. You know, it's saying about using fear, so not trying to hide away from your fear, but use that fear to inspire you to make better of yourself, to inspire you to do what you want to do. You know, if you want to be a writer, an actor, a singer, you want to be a manager of somewhere, you know, you want to own your own record shop, this man will say, well, look, you know, yeah, of course you've got fears, we all have, it's not out of the ordinary. And it's a great book, you know, and he talks about his own personal experiences, and I think that's what makes this book, and also The Elephant and the Twig, which I'll come to shortly, so good, because he's talking about his experiences. These aren't things that he's learned from a textbook, they're learned from his own life, and what better an education can you have than your own experiences. So as I say, this is from the 2001. Thankfully I've got signed copies of these. Did many events with him, And it'll talk about like the feelings you get if you're going to confront something, that the anxiety, the feeling of like, I want to run away from this, and hoping that it'll just go away. But he's very realistic, and that's what I love. So it's about controlling those fears, which is what this book is called. It's about controlling the fear and really using it to your advantage. And that's what I think a lot of us could do with doing. A lot of the time we'll think, oh, I'd love to do that, but then there's that fear of either failure, there's fear of, so you put hurdles in the way. This man, Geoff Thompson, really helps you sort of break that down. Coming up to a book that is really, I've used this book so many times, The Elephant and the Twig. And again, this is the hardback version of it, so paperback versions are available of these. And it's The Art of Positive Thinking, and it's 14 sort of steps as such, and he really just talks about his own ways that he's gone about making his life positive. Now this was done, it's got to be 2000, yeah, 2000 this was written, and this is like a Bible to me. When I've been in jobs that I'm feeling like I'm at a dead end, I read this book. It tells you about Geoff being on the factory floor and how people were trying to say, no, don't leave, Geoff, don't leave, Geoff, you've only been here 5 minutes. It's like, I've been here 8 years. And it's telling you, don't let them drag you back. Go for it. If you want to be something, you can be it. This really does help you to realise your potential, or realise ways of taking that first step to reaching your potentials and your dreams, because we all have dreams, and they don't have to be a dream, they can be reality. And this man, and it's such a nice easy read as well, you can get through it so quickly. But I've used this only last year when my mum sadly passed away as well, and I was feeling a lot of negativity, a bit of anger, a bit of guilt and regrets. And this book, I thought, right, I'm going to pick up and read it. So I was in an emotional kind of low part, and it really brought me out of that. It brought me up to think, actually, you've always got the memories, and it really just helped me. So it's helped me with bereavement, it's helped me with going on to new jobs. This is the book that I definitely 3 times left jobs after reading this. So if you're bored of your job or something, this is the book to read. Also if you love your job, this is the book to read, because it can also kind of help just sort of stay positive minded and really just about realising who you are and what you can be, and that we don't always have to conform to this sort of idea of like, oh wait a minute, people like us don't become a writer. Well, Geoff did, and the proof is there. He's still writing stuff now. He's gone on to win BAFTA award for a short film, Brown Paper Bag. Do watch that. He's done feature films, and all sorts. Check out the guy, well worth it. So the books, so Elephant and the Twig, The Art of Positive Thinking, Fear, which is all about the confronting fears, and then Watch My Back, which is his life story about on the door, when he was on the door and the factory floor, and about breaking away from that. So thanks ever so much for listening, and I look forward to doing another review shortly. Take care, stay safe.